A shadow lurked in the dark streets of Cleveland, a monster in human form. He struck without warning, leaving behind horrors so gruesome that even hardened detectives trembled. A killer with no face, no name, and no mercy. This is the story of the Cleveland torso murderer, America's most chilling unsolved serial killer case. September 1935. Kingsbury Run, a lawless wasteland on the edge of Cleveland, where the desperate and homeless sought shelter in crude shanty towns. But on this fateful morning, something unimaginable was waiting there. A man walking along the train track stops. His heart pounds. In the dirt before him lies a body. No, not a body. Half a body. A man's lower torso severed at the waist, his flesh burned with a strange chemical. His head, gone, missing, nowhere to be found. And this was only the beginning. Days later, another body, then another, and another, all mutilated in the same grotesque way, dismembered, drained of blood, their heads missing or found far from their bodies. The city was gripped with terror. The killer had a pattern. He chose the forgotten, the nameless, men and women who lived in the shadows, the ones no one would miss. But the message was clear. No one was safe. The police were desperate. Clues were scarce. No fingerprints, no witnesses, just lifeless, butchered remains. Who was this monster? And more importantly, would he ever be stopped? Enter Eliot Ness, the legendary crime fighter, the man who took down Al Capone. He was now Cleveland's safety director, and he had one mission: bring the torso murderer to justice. Ness launched the largest manhunt Cleveland had ever seen. Hundreds of officers stormed Kingsbury Run, interrogating suspects, searching every shadow. He even burned down the shantytown, hoping to drive the killer out. But the murderer vanished. There was one suspect, a former surgeon, a man named Dr. Francis Sweeney. He had the medical knowledge, the unstable mind, and the perfect opportunity. Ness interrogated him, pressured him, but without evidence, Sweeney walked free. And the murders, they stopped. Decades have passed. The streets of Cleveland have changed, but the ghost of the torso murderer still lingers. Who was he, and why did he choose such brutal surgical precision? Was he a madman, a doctor, a butcher hiding in plain sight? The truth remains locked in the past, buried with the victims he so cruelly butchered. But remember this, monsters don't just live in horror stories. Sometimes they walk among us, unseen, waiting. What do you think? Was Dr. Francis Sweeney the killer, or was the real murderer never even suspected? Drop your theories in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more spine-chilling crime stories. Until next time, stay safe.